What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel that is Abernathy Farms. Today we start our journey on my favorite and most worrisome time of the year, and that is haymaking season. I've already got the Ford 501 mower hooked up to the old 4000, and I've already cut the field here. This is my test field. It is in between my dad's house. There's the shop and my house. I like to run the mower, the rake, and the baler. I've already tested the baler on the field across the street if you watched my previous surprise haymaking video. It cut pretty good, everything went well. Keep my fingers crossed. It cuts as best as can be expected. I've got some high grass in the corners, but it's too much of a pain in the ass to go back and get those spots, so I try to do the best I can. But it's cut pretty good. Today is Sunday. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is Mother's Day, the 8th of May. And Wednesday, the day I cut that hay across the street, it was 88 degrees out here. Today it is 60 and cloudy. So yeah, here in North Carolina, second, third winter. So I've already got this field. I'm gonna go cut this field here that's right behind my house, in between my house and the barn. The barn is out there, and I'll catch up with you guys after that. That one's a small field, and we'll see where we're at. Well, we've had our first issue. I've lost a bolt here on this top link for this thing, and my sweep split. So I've got another bolt. This is also loose. I need to tighten up these jam nuts. And I've got a piece of plywood and stuff, and I'm gonna cut me another sweep for that. So, okay. Repairs have been made, although not the greatest. But, you know, I'm in a time crunch here. Can't take time to engineer stuff. Let's head to the next field. Well, that's the biggest field done. I got one more small field to do on the way back. Shouldn't take long, and I'll be done mowing. That's it. Well, we got to clean out the barn. I bought my #1 helper, Ezra Cat. So we got to get in here and clean this barn lot up. I got to clean the barn up to get ready to stack hay in it, hopefully. So here's what it looks like now. And I've seen this trick on some other channels, so I'm gonna try this trick too. And it worked. Somewhat. It's better than it was. So anyway, some of you may know this barn leaks on my homemade ridge cap. So I can't stack hay in the middle. So I was stacking on the sides. I was gonna build a new hay platform. As you may have already can tell, I did not. But one improvement I did make was last year this was fenced in. This wasn't here, this stall / loading chute. And I had this 2x4 wire strung right here, so I couldn't pull all the way through. But this year when I got that, we got this gate here, so I can bring my hay in, turn my trailer around, and drive straight through and make it easier to unload. Because before I was coming in this gate and it's real tight. It's a real tight turn with my long bed truck and a 18-foot trailer to get it to turn around and get back in here. So that'll make that easier. All right, guys, today's the day. We'll go ahead and start raking. It's not quite 11 o'clock. I'm at the big field, all the way on the way back. Figured I'd start as far away from the shop, head back that way. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we're bailing. This is not gonna make much hay. I ended up with one windrow in this little field here. I made some adjustments, or tried to make some adjustments to the baler, and seems to be tying better. Excuse me, but it's still not making great bales. This bale's pretty loose. Might tighten it up a little bit more. Yeah, we're not gonna be making much hay. I guess I need a ton of nitrogen out here. Okay, we got the hay made, and everything worked fine. Worked all right, but ended up being a bust. Let's go see why. So this is my big field, and I use that in the loosest sense of the terms. My big hay field. It's about 6 acres. In the spring, I got 75 bales of hay off of this field. Spring last year, so a year ago, I got 75 bales. This time, I got about 25. And I think I know why that is, and it's kind of hard to show up on camera. I did not put any fertilizer on this in the fall, and I have put some fertilizer on it the last 2 years. Not a lot. But if you see right here, it goes in the shadow, but there is like a green circle. It goes all the way down to there. And I assumed that when I was putting out fertilizer, I stopped here and took off again, because I did it with the 600. When the 600 stops, PTO stops. But it must have threw a bunch of fertilizer right here in this ring, and that's why I have this big green ring. So, long story short, all my fields did real crappy. I made about 60 bales of hay. And last spring I made, I want to say 225 bales, and I got 75 bales out of this field alone. My small fields, I think my small field beside the shop, I got 17 bales. I got 5 this year. The field behind my house, I normally get about, I think in the spring last year I got like 24 bales. I got about 5. So that's a real problem. So I think if this field was right, I wouldn't have any trouble getting over 100 bales out of this field. And another issue I have is my previous big field, which is almost 10 acres, now has cows on it. And so this spring, I decided not to make hay off of it. And looking back on it, that may be a bad decision. It's looking like it's turning out that way. So what I've decided to do is, I'm gonna put a bunch of fertilizer on this field. I'm gonna go in the morning and price some nitrogen, just nitrogen. I've put lime on this field. That has definitely helped with the broadleafs, briars and stuff that we're growing in here. And in the past, when I didn't have cows, I wasn't as concerned about it. Now I'm selling these square bales. These are square bales I'm talking about. I'm selling these square bales, and I'm gonna buy round bales. That's just, normally that's not a problem. I don't have a problem selling square bales, and I actually make more money selling square bales. In a normal year, I have made as many as 500 square bales in a year, counting the spring and fall cutting. Last fall was real dry, and you know, fertilizer prices are outrageous, and that's one of the reasons I decided not to put any fertilizer on here. I said, well, I'll put fertilizer on last year, maybe it'll be fine. Obviously it's not. So I started to bale this field. This is the one I fenced in October. Cows are on it now. But I decided not to. It didn't look like it was in the greatest shape, and it's not. It kind of looks real green and lush, but when you get out and walk in it, it's got a lot of broadleafs and other stuff. So I decided to put the cows back on it for now. And you know, I may pull it off of them, wait a couple weeks, but you know, this fescue's gone to seed. And if fescue goes to seed, then a lot of the nutrition in the stalk is lost. So I think I'm gonna come out here and bush hog this. It's early May. You know, I would have liked to have waited another week or so, let it stuff grow some more, but it was already heading out. And you know, I decided, made the call, had a window, and I went ahead and made hay, and everybody around here made hay too. So, you know, it is what it is. But the baler worked all right. I made some tweaks. I ordered a manual, and I made a few tweaks to some stuff. Nothing real big, nothing major to the knotters. Tried to tighten up the bell chamber a little bit, the plunger, and the sweeps. Tighten up the chain on the sweeps, and the first 10 bells were kind of funky looking, but after that it kind of seemed to come to itself, and the last, you know, 40 or 50 bells belled all right, and then it didn't drop too many, 3 or 4 didn't tie, but I haven't had a chance to really go through the knotters and check those. But like I say, it did all right. So this is a 3-acre field by my house. About 7 years ago, we had corn planted in it, and we burned everything down. It was Roundup Ready corn that I had my neighbor plant for me. For what reason, I really am not sure. Just because, I guess. I thought I was going to make some deer corn out of it, and he did bring his combine over here and harvest it, and I stored it for a long time, and I tried to sell some of it. It didn't really sell that great, so I ended up chucking most of it in the gully after it sat in an old horse trailer for about 2 years. But this field's a work in progress. I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on it to get it back up into a hay field. It's got some sections of fescue in it, but a lot of it's like this. A lot of broadleafs. I didn't replant anything in here after we harvested the corn, so kind of grew up, and whatever grew up. I do keep it mowed. I'm not going to cut it for hay in the spring. I am going to spray it and maybe plant some grass out here in the fall, and we'll see what it does. So anyway, sorry I didn't have a lot of hay making to show you, because we didn't make a lot of hay, and it's not that big a deal. I was going to buy hay anyway. I was going to sell these square bales and buy hay, but honestly I didn't make enough to even spend my time selling, so just stacked in the barn. We're just going to leave it in the barn for now and see how many we make in the fall, and hopefully it'll be a bunch. So anyway, if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Sorry it's not a very exciting video, but if you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all guys later.